We are live from Matthews Sportsplex, North Carolina. Jimmy Roselli, Matt Santana, delighted to have you with us on this Thursday night for Big South semifinals. Women's soccer, it's the Panthers and the Radford Highlanders in a total dispute here, Matt. You talk about two teams who have ran the Big South Conference this season, and these are the top two dogs. Defensively, the High Point Panthers, and offensively, the Radford Highlanders.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Radford coming in this game. They lead the Big South in pretty much every single offensive category. Points, goals, assists, goals allowed. This is a phenomenal offensive team. You look at the High Point Panthers, though, a phenomenal defensive squad. This is going to be the age-old tale of what wins championships, offense or defense. We're going to see the result here tonight, Jimmy.
No doubt about it, Matt, and we are underway with opening kickoff. The Panthers send it way into the Highlanders' offensive zone, and a free kick to start off the game right away. Early whistles, which is something that we're going to really be watching here tonight, Matt. You take a look at both sides. Last game, right before this, you saw Presbyterian take on USC Upstate, and not much whistles being called at all. A lot of contact, a lot of physicality. Almost a fight broke out as well. Tremendous, which is something you don't really see in soccer, and you got to respect the hustle.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a phenomenal game, too. 0 goals scored through the first 80 minutes of that game. It looked like that goal was at a dead heat. That game was at a dead heat till overtime, but 3 goals in the final 10 minutes with Upstate ultimately coming out on top. So they will play the winner of this contest here on Sunday. But this is a phenomenal matchup, Jimmy. We've been talking about it all week, you and I, off radio, off air. We're super excited for this game. We have a couple of players that we think are going to make huge impacts tonight, and I'm so excited, Jimmy. This is going to be an awesome game to watch.
Oh, we've been waiting all season long for this. We're amped up. We were singing and dancing to the music before this thing started. You know, we're trying to figure out the technology down here. We're not technology buffs, but so ecstatic to see it happen as a whistle blows on the far side of the field, battling between those two. And a free kick coming for Radford now on the far side in their own defending third.
And we talked about it a lot, Jimmy. It's going to come down to the star players tonight. You look at Radford, they have Paige Olson and Lily Short, two of their best players. Paige Olson being on the Big South Conference second team, Lily Short being named to the Big South Conference first team. I honestly thought Lily Short should have won Conference Player of the Year. She had a phenomenal conference season, but you have those two stars on the Radford side, and you look at High Point. 3 first-team all-conference players in Alex DePerno, Tessa Carlin, and Saba Hagu. Tessa Carlin and Hagu have been phenomenal offensive engines for the Panthers all season. Then Alex DePerno winning Defensive Player of the Year in the Big South. So just a ton of star power all over the field tonight.
Yeah, accolades on both sides, to say the least. As a throw-in coming for Radford in the attacking third. Quick toss in. Holding on to it's Johnson. Now coming across the middle. This shot fired away. McKessie just barely gets a tip on it and misses wide. A goal kick for McKessie, excuse me. Now up and coming. Johnson fired that one, just missing the left post. She came across the middle after a quick hesitation move.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot already, Jimmy. Radford has so many weapons. It's not just the players that we mentioned in Paige Olson and Lily Short. Radford led the Big South in goals for a reason. This is a team that loves to get the offense rolling and get it moving. So High Point, as staunch as their defense has been all season, they're really going to need them to show up here tonight.
42-19 to play in the first half. Throw in at midfield. Panthers take control. It's Kari Powell. Sending it past midfield. Carlin gets a foot on it. Sends it over to DeHaven now. DeHaven and Carlin looking to attack. She wants the through ball. She'll find the other side. Here comes Hagu. Inside the box. Crossing to Carlin. Carlin's tap just misses wide. Oh, my goodness. That would have been a phenomenal start for the Panthers.
But that's exactly what High Point needs to do. They need to get out and running on the counters. Radford is very susceptible to that with the formation that they run. If High Point can get out and get rolling in those counters, it'll make Radford's life very difficult tonight. And, I mean, that's who they're looking for. Hagu, DeHaven, Carlin, 3 of High Point's best offensive players, all touching the ball in that possession. You need to see more of that tonight.
And what you're seeing here as this goal kick gets set for Radford, you see Tessa Carlin, Lindsay DeHaven, and Saba Hagu all playing in that forward spot. And that's something that really has been a change for Coach McGinnis. He's allowed himself to kind of have a lot of different versatility with those 3 stars.
Yeah, absolutely. And he talked a little bit about us the last time they played Radford. They want to pressure the ball a little bit on them, create a little bit of urgency, a little bit of chaos in that Radford middle third and that defending third. And that way they can cause that chaos and hopefully create opportunities off of that. They've been running that mid-block all year. It's been phenomenal for them. I mean, as you said it already tonight, best defense in the Big South. So as long as they stick true to their game and they play the way that they're supposed to play, High Point's defense should be really solid tonight.
Johnson making a good move on the far side. Pass Powell, but she makes up for it, defending it, taking it back. Now a battle at midfield. Sending it to the near side. Both players unable to get a foot on it in Garmy and Paige Olson. Paige Olson, another offensive player. We talked about Radford's offensive capability 2 goals, 10 assists on the season. She sees the field incredibly well, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the best passer of the Big South. I hate to say that against, a couple of High Point Panthers that have been phenomenal passing the ball as well this year, but she's been phenomenal for them all year moving the ball, and you're going to see her get a lot of touches tonight and have a lot of opportunities in that attacking third for Radford.
Another throw-in coming for Radford. Edwards on the sideline, now battling. Paige Olson sends it back. Up towards midfield now. Alina Wilson resets. Now in the defending third. Quick 2 passes from Silverstone and Wilson. Silverstone crossing midfield. Couple of Panthers collide, force her to pass. Now to the far side sideline. 39:42 to play here. 0-0, we still sit. Slowing things down, and DeHaven's really putting the pressure in Radford's defending third. Now a long pass sent by Wilson inside the attacking third for the Radford Highlanders. Johnson gets a foot on it. Good step up from Dewey. Pokes it away. Hagu now with a big move. Across the sideline. Terrific footwork from Saba Hagu, but she just barely slips. And that ball will slide out of bounds for a throw-in for Radford.
That would have been a phenomenal play from Hagu to keep it in bounds. Just couldn't get enough on it, but a great job by High Point there defending the long ball. Radford scored their only goal in that contest in Virginia off of that long ball pass in. So if High Point does a good job defending that tonight, they'll be all right.
Another throw in right next to midfield, but they change it around. The Panthers will have it. So some miscommunication between the officials. The Panthers have a throw in at midfield. Vaughn sitting at midfield, looking for the pass. They send it to DeHaven. Now Kari Powell switches it back, resets to Perno. Pass midfield, long through ball. Just barely off footing. Radford heads it towards the midfield. Edwards grabs a hold of it for Radford. Edwards over to Paige Olson. Carlin and Garmy slide up, force her to pass towards the middle. Resetting to the Highlanders. Wilson. Back over. Couple of quick passes between Silverstone and Wilson. Edwards calling for it on the near side. They choose not to pass. Alina Wilson sends it back to the far side.
Coach McGinnis urging his team to press up and attack that Radford defense. And Lindsay DeHaven doing just that, pressuring whichever Highlander has the ball in her possession.
Wilson makes a single step move past DeHaven, but they are really struggling to get that ball past midfield. They're trying to bait the Panthers to press up, which is exactly what McGinnis wants. And Garmy does a great job to step up on that one. Garmy, Carlin go back and forth. DeHaven now at midfield. Looking to center it.
Pressure has been relentless from High Point early.
Too much power on that pass intended for Saba Hagu on the far side, and it'll roll out of bounds.
Love the hustle, though, from Amelia Corbin on the far side, trying to track that down.
So far, Radford owning the possession time, Matt, and something you're hearing Coach McGinnis say is get up, get up, get up, and press. They want to put the pressure on a team that is really good in the attacking third.
Radford is a team that they don't have an issue holding the ball and scoring late. They don't have an issue doing that. They know they have the skill players and the facilities to do that. So they're okay with holding the ball in their attacking third, waiting till something opens up. High Point's got to be careful that, the pressure is good. I like the relentless pressure. They got to make sure they don't overpressure, though, and leave something open and leave them susceptible to something.
So whistle blows. A goal kick now coming for the Highlanders.
Looks like Carlin lost a shin guard there, too, having her reset.
And she kept playing through, too. Funny enough.
No surprise there. One of the toughest players on the pitch for High Point.
No doubt. One of the more physical players on the field as a whole. 36-32 to play in the first half. We still sit at 0. Jimmy Roselli alongside Matt Santana. If you're just joining us, we are live from Matthews, North Carolina for semifinal play in the Big South Conference. It's the Radford Highlanders and the High Point Panthers douching it out on this absolutely gorgeous field in a tremendous complex. Outside the box now, Radford looking to attack. Quick center. Long shot from way out there, blocked by Dewey and Garmy.
It's a great clearance from Garmy as well. Great defense as well. She's been one of High Point's best one-on-one defenders all year. And we talked about it on the way here, Jimmy. You and I felt like she might have been snubbed from that Big South team. Had 4 assists on the year. She had more points than half of the girls on that roster. So if you're a couple of the coaches maybe regretting that decision, and leaving Megan Garmy off that team.
Yeah, if you're Megan Garmy as well, you're fired up in this game, right? You're going to show them now. This is the decision you made, and I'm going to show you why you should have made a better one, right?
Absolutely.
And she's going to come out here fired up, and she's already doing so. She had that phenomenal move to set up Kari Powell earlier on this season. That was showing her offensive capability, but something we always talk about is what happened right here, right now. That defensive ability she has to read the ball, step up on offenders, and ensure that that possession goes back to her own team.
Coach McGinnis is so comfortable leaving her one-on-one on the outside because he knows she can hold her own. She's been a phenomenal one-on-one defender all year for them.
Great move from Edwards, but Carlin makes up for it, takes it right back. Now to DePerno. Crossing midfield, DePerno looking for a long through ball intended for Roden. But it steps up from the Highlanders in Lily Short. Now she sends one down inside the box. It's Paige Olsen giving chase. Garmy again makes a big play defensively. No whistle blows on the contact. And a goal kick coming for McKessie.
And that is a good example of good physical play. You saw Garmy give Paige Olsen a little bump, but it wasn't anything severe. It wasn't anything penalty worthy. It was just enough to knock Olsen off course and create the ball to go out of bounds. And now a goal kick for High Point. I mean, we just said fantastic one-on-one play from Megan Garmy.
Yeah, and she's her contact is so hard to bump her over, right? She's got a lot of strength for a defender. She can push back, and when you make that contact, every time it's a one-on-one ball, she's going to win it. No matter how you try and do it, you got to beat her in the footwork, and it's just something that is hard to beat when you look at the defensive capability from these High Point Panthers and her, Alex DePerno, and Caroline Dewey in that back line. So the Highlanders now in their own defending third, 34 minutes to play in the first half. We still sit at 0. Good move on the far side. Long through ball. A lot of power on it. Looks to roll out, and it will. So goal kick coming from McKessie now.
Bradford still looking to play those deep balls in. They're trying to force High Point's pressure up and then kick that ball in deep. They've got a couple looks so far off of it. High Point's got to be sure that they're not pressuring too far up.
Now on the near side, Garmy and DePerno go back and forth, sending it back to McKessie. The tender in her own box. Dewey now. Long pass to midfield. Stepping up was Johnson. She got a foot on it. Hagu. Trying to find Carlin on a long through ball. Taken away by the Highlanders, and now at midfield. Here they come on the offense. Coming across is Paige Olsen. Olsen at the sideline. Garmy guarding her closely. Right behind her is DePerno. Olsen trying to get a cross off, but Garmy reads it all the way. And how about the one-on-one matchup between these two? Contact gets big. No whistle is blown, and you could see the energy coming from Paige Olsen on that one.
Absolutely. She was a little fired up about the no call there, but again, Megan Garmy having something to prove here tonight. That was another phenomenal defensive play. They're going to trust her to guard Paige Olsen one-on-one all night, and so far, Garmy's winning that battle.
I was about to say it, Matt. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's going to be a phenomenal one-on-one matchup to watch all night long.
And another one, don't sleep on it, Kari Powell and Lily Short in the middle of the field. That's also going to be a phenomenal matchup to watch as well.
Lily Short's been phenomenal. Phenomenal for Radford. 9 goals, 3 assists, Matt. You were talking about her on the car ride here, how much you thought she was one of the best offensive players in the Big South, if not the best. It's going to be a tough thing to stop, but with Kari Powell and her grit, the Panthers might just have a chance.
Short lost that award to Dara Russo of USC Upstate, who actually had that game-winning goal in the earlier game between Presbyterian and SC Upstate. So there's a lot of talent in the Big South right now, Jimmy.
No doubt. And this postseason can go any which way. Radford chooses to reset now in their own defending third. 31:45 to play in the first half. 0-0, we still sit.
And the only thing that concerns me with this high point, high press is you got to wonder about the stamina. You know, they've played that mid-block all year to where that middle of the field defenders, they can sort of sit back, only pressure up when that ball gets near midfield. But now they're having everybody push up and into the Radford defensive third. You just wonder how long they can keep this pace up for. And if they can keep it up and start to score off of it, then it looks great. But if, you know, this 0-0 starts to hold, you got to start to think these girls are going to get tired.
Dewey, after the goal kick from McKessie, a short pass, sends it way downfield. Saba Hagu gives full chase. She almost was the first one there. but forces the pass back from Ralvani out of bounds, and a throw in now for the Panthers on the far side, right outside their attacking third. They look to try and set up a set piece. All the way in that far corner. Collisions, and now a throw in for the Highlanders in one of the worst spots they could have a throw in.
Yeah, this is not super ideal. Very deep in their own corner, in their own defending third as well.
Ball bounces back and forth. Hagu has some contact with a Highlander. Can't quite see the number from here.
It's our first whistle of the night as well. So something that we talked about a little bit is in that Upstate Presbyterian game, weren't a lot of whistles in that game. So we were talking about it a little bit pregame as well. Will we see not as many whistles because it's playoff time? They want everybody to play through. Or is it going to be like it was in the regular season where, you know, the slightest bit of contact could draw a whistle?
After Ashley Lounderman went down on the contact with Saba Hagu, the free kick gets sent up way past midfield, but the Panthers take it back. Kari Powell and Johnson collide at midfield. Corbron takes control, sends it down. Stopping that one was Wilson. She sends it out of bounds, slows things down for the Panthers.
Something I'm noticing about this field early, Jimmy, is it's pretty slick. Anytime the ball hits it, it kind of skips and then slides. So it might be something to watch out for. It kind of looks like they're playing on turf right now.
And I said that when we walked in as well. It almost looks like turf. I thought it was turf, but
yeah,
it's just a really well-cut grass.
It's very low, which is going to cause that ball to go a little bit further than it usually would on a standard grass field.
Yeah, as a golfer myself, I just want to go out there and take a quick 9-iron shot. Couple of passes inside the box. Ball deflects off Highlander, and now the first corner kick of the game up and coming. And this one's for the High Point Panthers.
And you got to remember, the High Point's last time out, Jimmy, they scored 4 goals off of set pieces and corners. 3 of them, of course, coming off of Ella Vaughn's hat trick that sent them to this number 2 seed. So this is a really dangerous spot if you're Radford right now.
All the way in the far corner, it's Megan Garmy, the first corner kick of the game. 28:34 to play. We still sit at 0. Garmy's corner. It's up. Off a couple of heads. Bounces right back out to DePerno, who just puts too much power on it and sends it over the crossbar. So a well set up chance for the Panthers, but just not able to finish in Alex DePerno.
Found DePerno on the back post. She was there. She had the shot. Just got a little too much on it, sent it up. But if you're a High Point, that's a good sign. That's good. Those are the opportunities that you want to look for. Something I thought was interesting, though, on that piece is they had Vaughn and DeHaven out of the box on that play. Might want to see them in the box there with their height and with their skill and ability.
A lot of contact starting to arrive here in Matthews. A little footwork from Coach McGinnis as well, as that one rolls out of bounds. Right to him. Throwing coming now for the Highlanders and Kayla Edwards.
Very physical game here early. Not a lot of whistles either, so we're going to see them play through it tonight.
Quick throw in. Touched by Garmy. Now Kayla Edwards again on the throw in. Oh, some miscommunication. It almost slips out. But the Highlanders find a way to keep it in. It quickly tapped off the foot of Johnson and Edwards. But just barely able to keep it in. Now Meg Roden on the attack for the Panthers. That one almost slipped by the Highlanders, and it would have been just Saba Hagu on a one-on-one opportunity with the keeper.
We've seen what she's been doing in those scenarios, so that ball gets through. It's a dangerous look for Radford, but High Point's both defenses doing a really good job here early, preventing anything deep from coming in. The only really close goal opportunity that we've seen have been off of counter opportunities for both sides.
DePerno makes a quick move, now sends a long through ball intended for Roden. Just a bit too much power as that one rolls out of bounds on the near side. Now on the throw-in is going to be Alina Wilson.
Getting the ball in High Point zone, though, that's what they want, and they're attacking third. Now it's about using their skill players to their advantage, forcing a turnover and getting an opportunity.
Edwards again on the throw-in now. Ooh, right to Garmy. Garmy heads it over to Hagu. One-on-one. Hagu and Wilson. Forcing it out of bounds. And a corner kick now coming for the Panthers as it was a close call.
That was really close. And it was kind of, I don't blame our referee there. It was kind of hard to tell from that angle. Radford's not happy about it. Hagu, though, immediately called for a corner kick, so she felt It's off of Radford. We're going to look here on the Jumbotron here at Matthews Complex. It's close.
Yeah,
it's
definitely close. I think it was the right call, though. Corbron on the corner kick on the near side. It's up. The second of the game. This one bounces up and on top of the net. So just a bit too much spin on that one as she was going for the Olympia.
She was looking for Ella Vaughn on the back post as well. She was either trying to sneak it in up top or look for Vaughn on the back post there. But that's what you want to be looking for. She scored 3 goals off of corner set pieces in that game against UNC Asheville. So
that was a knuckleball sent from the Highlanders. Absolutely no spin on that one. And now a battle at midfield. Garmy gets control. Oh, hits off the head of her own Highlander and Lounderman. So Lounderman takes one off the chin.
Paige Olsen is laughing at her. She thought it was pretty funny.
Well, at least it's her own teammate.
That's true.
Another throw-in.
Hits the top of the Radford bench.
A little bit of a series of events here. Silverstone on that one. But now Garmy on the throw-in at midfield for the Panthers. Still 0-0. We sit 24:47 left to play in the first half. Garmy on the throw-in. Rodin battling one-on-one. Some contact there. No whistle blows. They thought it was out of bounds. No whistle. And by they, I mean the Highlanders bench.
Yeah, all of them put their hand up asking for a throw-in.
Oh, Dewey with a long through ball that could have just barely slipped by. But nobody home, and it's picked up by Ralvani. So she'll settle things down in her own box and see what she wants to do. A lot of chaos in midfield right now. And she'll just send it right to it. Bounces off the head of Albers. Johnson tries to battle. Ella Vaughn gets the first leg on it, sends it up. Carlin battles, wins the header. Now over to Powell at midfield. Olsen takes it away for the Highlanders. Sends it across to the near side sideline. Now a long through ball as collision happens between Rodin and Short. But Lily Short wins the battle, sending it all the way down to the Panthers' goal line for a goal kick now for McKessie. So back and forth here in the first half.
Another thing, both coaches have been very vocal here in this first half early.
McKessie on the goal kick. .750 save percentage on the season. 15 games played, 15 games started. She's been a big reason for the Panthers' success this year. And so far, no action in net.
Big South newcomer of the year this year, Aubrey McKessie. Led the league in shutouts. She's been a phenomenal player for them. What a move there from Edwards.
Yeah, that was a quick touch as Hagu tried to step up and put pressure on her right on the near side sideline in her defending third. But now they send it up to midfield for the Highlanders as a whistle blows on the contact between Rodin and Lily Short.
Yeah, and I don't know about that one there. Definitely a little bit of contact, but Short might have given it a little bit of a flop. Sold the call. And now a free kick opportunity for Radford, where we've seen them score from a similar spot earlier in the season.
And that's the offensive capability that the Highlanders have. On the free kick at midfield, it's going to be Wilson. 22-22 to play now in the first half. At zeros, we still sit. Wilson, long free kick inside the box. First leg on it's going to be Dewey. Bouncing back out towards the near side sideline. Olsen and Garmy going head to head. Olsen gets it. Sends it to Wilson. Now at midfield, Carlin steps up. Forces her to reset. Silverstone sends it to the far side now. Quick switch from the Highlanders. Johnson with a quick two-tap move. And here comes Johnson inside the box. Johnson's cross just barely missed. What an attempt that would have been as it snuck by the Panthers defense. But they couldn't finish the footing. All it took was one tap after the phenomenal cross from Johnson.
And
close but no cigar.
Radford's bench is fired up right now because now they know what they need. Now they know what to look for when it comes to attacking High Point. That was a huge opportunity for Radford.
Albers was right on that far side post, near post for us, far side for Johnson.
Another first-team all-conference member for the Highlanders. We haven't mentioned her name yet either, but she's also had an insane impact for the Highlanders coming out of Melsungen, Germany.
Peyton Gilmore steps up to sub in here along with Carly Smith, who should be heading in shortly. Some miscommunication at midfield between Olsen and Lily Short, and they let each other have it a little bit as their own teammates. DePerno sends it back to McKessie. Trying to step up there was Albers, but the ball is sent back up to midfield. So a whole series of events there in the past 10 seconds. Now on the attack for the Panthers. Meg Roden steps up, gets a tap on it. Trying to make a move past her was Wilson, but it'll fall into the legs of Lily Short. Short now, attacking. Ella Vaughn steps up, finds her teammate inside the middle. It's Kirkgate trying to make a move, but Roden with tremendous defense to take it back away. Carlin now at midfield. Carlin and Lounderman. Nottingham steps up. Powell tries to get past Nottingham. It rolls out of bounds after the touch on Nottingham, and the Panthers have a throw in now near the attacking third. Stepping on, Carly Smith and Peyton Gilmore. Some subs heading out in Lindsay DeHaven and Kari Powell for the Panthers.
And that's interesting, going with Gilmore in for DeHaven. Usually you'll see Gilmore sub in for Hagu or for Carlin, but now they're having her sub in for DeHaven and having Carlin move back into the midfield. And Corbin coming off as well for Carly Smith, a standard sub exchange that we see for High Point.
Yeah, it looked like they were sending out Kari Powell. It was actually Amelia Corbin. So a quick rest for DeHaven and Corbin with 19:30 to play in the first half. Throw in on the far side. Carly Smith gets a hold of it. Smith looking to attack. Makes it past a couple of quick defenders. Now crossing inside, but they blow the whistle there. Flag goes up as she just went out of bounds at the goal line. It would have been close there, and the cross could have been tremendous if she just didn't let that ball slip out.
And Carly Smith had a phenomenal game against Radford last time out. Her play style fits well offensively against these Highlanders. Highlanders can't really keep up with her. Not used to a defense player being as quick as she is, but again, showing off the skill there and getting an opportunity for High Point, just couldn't quite corral the ball on the far side.
Some battle on the far side. Quick throw in for the Panthers, trying to rush it inside the box, but the whistle blows again, and now a corner kick coming for the Panthers. 18:25 to play in the first half. 0-0 we still sit. Third corner of the game coming for the Panthers. Megan Garmy heads over to the far side to take it, as she has been the one to do so for the Panthers on that left side.
And now everybody is coming in for High Point. So instead of having a couple people out and keeping them more towards that center midfield spot, now everybody in the box for High Point.
The only one at midfield is Caroline Dewey, the freshman. Long corner for Garmy. Couple of heads collide. DePerno gets the foot on it. Trying to send it back in. Powell wins it. Back out to Dewey to slow things down. Dewey now looking across real quick. Trying to find Hagu. But Ravani steps out and snags that one. What a chance for the Panthers there offensively.
She had Hagu and Gilmore over there, so you can maybe take a touch, give a pass off as well, but Ravani doing a good job coming out of net and corralling that ball.
Battle at midfield. Hagu wins it and tries to find Carlin cutting on the inside. Highlanders step up, back and forth. Now that one rolls towards the sideline. It'll go out of bounds. Highlanders now with a throw-in.
And again, that's Radford's defense showing up. A nice stop there from Jill Silverstone. Carlin was making a run. She was open.
That one takes a hard deflection into the stands.
Jimmy and I were worried a little bit about that pregame. We saw one come up near our table during the Upstate Presbyterian game.
I'm still hoping for it.
We were thinking about having to make a play.
Might have to go back to your high school days with that soccer.
Yeah, right? Take a little touch.
We all know I don't. 16:15 now to play in the first half. Throw-in coming for Garmy in the attacking third for the Panthers. Paige Olsen guarding. She tosses it to Hagu. Edwards steps up, forces it out of bounds, and the Panthers will stick with it.
Another corner here for High Point. On the near side, subs warming up for Radford as well, so we might see them make an adjustment some point soon. Actually, it would be a throw-in for High Point. How about that? Paige Olsen face guarding Megan Garmy one-on-one. This is what a matchup that we're going to have all night.
And we've seen it, and they're not letting each other get off easy, right? There's a couple of words being exchanged after every play.
Absolutely.
A lot of emotion.
They've been jawing all night. It's going to be a phenomenal thing to see.
Roden and Olsen now battling it out. It'll roll out of bounds, and it'll go in favor of the Highlanders. So a goal kick now coming for Alvanier.
Jaden Noel and Jillian Postlewaite now check in for the Highlanders. Lunderman will come out, as well as Kayla Edwards. So Radford making a little bit of adjustment on the defensive side of the ball. See how much that pays off for them as well. And another sub checking in for High Point. That's going to be Alex Murphy.
And we're happy to see that one, Matt. We were talking about that as well, heading down here to Matthews. Only an hour-and-a-half drive from High Point University. However, plenty of time to talk about the team that we love so much. Alex Murphy was a player that really has stepped up big for the Panthers. And a quick battle at the sideline here. Contact between Roden and Postlethwaite. However, they give it to the Highlanders, and Roden was not happy about it. But as I was saying, Alex Murphy has had some tremendous plays. She's got a goal and an assist on the season and has tremendous vision for the field and for the Panthers. She helped create Kari Powell's primetime goal.
And she's got that goal and assist, and she's only played about 200 minutes on the year so far, which, to have a goal and an assist in only about 200 minutes, think about how much she's going to have when she gets, 500-600 minutes on a year. So it's only a matter of time before Alex Murphy sees opportunity and starts to blossom into that star player that you and I both know that she can be.
No doubt, Matt. And the minutes that she gets are just going to continue to develop her, and along with the rest of the freshmen that are on this team, Ali Ruiz, Saba Hagu, and the list goes on and on. Most of them do come off the bench. Saba Hagu, one of the only freshmen, along with Caroline Dewey, who start consistently as Johnson tries to fire inside. Highlanders on the attack, and the attacking third. Ball still loose inside the box. Johnson with a quick cross there, but nobody was home. Garmy gets a control of it. Olsen goes shoulder to shoulder with Garmy. No emotion from Garmy as she gets collided with, but Olsen wanted a call. I think that was clearly intended from Olsen. Absolutely. On the contact.
I was 100% intentional contact. I'm not going to disagree with you there, Jimmy, but the difference is it's shoulder to shoulder. So shoulder to shoulder contact is acceptable as long as you're not lowering that shoulder. She didn't lower the shoulder. She kept it even. Play on.
A great analysis from Matt Santana. Garmy, I just love the fact that she didn't show any emotion there whatsoever. When she went down, she slid, she got up. Olsen was screaming at the official saying, "Where's my call?" You got to love the grit on both sides here.
Absolutely. Garmy always keeps a level head. We've seen it all throughout the year. She's taken some beatings in some games. There's no denying that, but she's always kept a level head in games. Phenomenal to see out of your defense. That's what you want. You want them to keep a level head, not get too invested, not get too emotional.
Oh, look at this play. Beautiful move from Roden. Here comes Murphy. Oh, what a move from Alex Murphy. Sends it over to Gilmore. Gilmore just one woman to beat, but oh my goodness, Radford steps up. And Helena Wilson inside the box. Wilson robbing Peyton Gilmore.
And I would have loved to see Gilmore just take the shot there. She took a touch, was looking for a teammate to pass. I don't know if she wanted to shoot that. She was looking around for a teammate to pass to. She's got to take the shot there. She's got a one-on-one opportunity with the tender. Just take the shot.
What a fantastic move, and now a corner kick for the Panthers. Coming across the middle. Couple of heads collide, ball still loose. DePerno gets a head on it. The Radford gets a head on it. Couple of ladies step up. Carly Smith puts it back inside the box. It's still up. Playing keep it up now, Matt, at this point.
Ball was in the air for a while.
Ella Vaughn tries to battle it back. That one rolls outside past the goal line. And it'll go with Radford. And words are just being exchanged on both sides. You see them taunting each other physically, saying, no, no, no. Yes, 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 we're going that way. Adios, a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the playoffs. That's what you would expect. This is also, people forget, this is a rivalry game. These two teams have had a long history of not liking each other. They've gotten into spats over the last couple of years. And even in that game against Virginia, there was definitely a little bit of jawing back and forth. So, this is a rivalry game. Don't get it twisted, Jimmy. And these teams are going to be jawing all night. They'll be jawing at the officials all night. This is a really important
by
game.
Here. Caroline Dewey's got to get back, and she will. beating Paige Olsen. McKessie steps out of the net, gets a quick pass into the midfield. DePerno gets a touch on it. Oh, look at the footwork from Murphy. And I got to say, seeing her footwork from here is incredible. She's one of the best technical players as a freshman that we've seen in the Big South from already what I'm seeing here. And now you look back at some of the pass plays that she's had. Again, I keep referring to that Kari Powell assist. It's just been a phenomenal thing from Alex Murphy.
Absolutely. She's been phenomenal all year for High Point. And, you know, it comes with the run time. You know, if she gets a little bit more run, then, you know, you'll start to see those plays happen a lot more often. We saw it. She had that pass to Gilmore. I thought she was going to take the shot, honestly. It looked like she was. And she could absolutely make that shot. It was a little bit outside the 18. But that's a shot that she can make and she should take.
At the sideline now. Midfield. Garmy on the throw-in.
So you have a couple subs now again for High Point. Emily Mashinsky and Lily Newbauer will check in for Meg Roden and Tessa Carlin. So High Point giving some of their starters a little bit of a rest here at the end of the first half. Mashinsky and Newbauer, though, two seniors who have been major contributors over the last 4 years for High Point.
That ball intended for Mashinsky just gets by, and the Highlanders send it back past midfield into the attacking third. Bouncing back and forth. Newbauer gets a foot on it. Sends it past midfield. Gilmore battling. Oh, and there goes Gilmore. One of the many falls we've seen her take this year. She boxes out very well and is a very physical player, however. She has an ongoing joke with me and Matt Santana about how much she falls.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw it again there. We started to keep a tally in games of how often she falls, and that's #1 in the game so far. But, I mean, she's a super physical player. We've said it all year. She's a dog out there. She does what needs to be done, does the dirty work, is flying all over the place, getting headers, slide tackling. She's somebody that we're going to see step into that Tessa Carlin role next year, I believe, of just being a pest in every which way.
DePerno with a long free kick inside the box. It hits off a couple of defenders, one of which would be a Highlander, as we have a corner kick now up and coming for the Panthers in Alex Murphy.
And another Panther will check in now, and Ali Ruiz step in for Kari Powell. We haven't seen her play in a while. Last time we saw her was October 16th against Longwood, but this is another one of High Point's freshmen that have been massive contributors over the course of the season.
And Kari Powell steps off with 8:26 to play now. That's a player we've seen play almost all game, multiple different times. As Murphy's corner gets sent inside, and a couple of headers, and it'll drop. The Panthers take an early lead, 1-0, with 8:19 to play in the first half.
And what a pass and what a shot. And I believe it was Peyton Gilmore on the far side there, so she has the foul, sets up the DePerno free kick to the inside that leads to the corner. And oh my goodness, what a play from Peyton Gilmore. She puts the Panthers up 1-0 in this Big South semifinal.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal for the Panthers, and the bench has lost it. Most of the starters step off the field, and you got most of your bench players coming in who have the talent to start. We have seen most of them start. They come onto the field, and they make a tremendous difference. What an impact play from Alex Murphy and Peyton Gilmore.
Peyton Gilmore has been a starter for most of the year, was coming off the bench tonight in this contest because Coach McGinnis, you know, in his mind, thought the bench needed a little bit of a boost offensively. Gilmore provided that boost, and you're seeing it here. The subs making a massive impact. We said it all year, Jimmy. The talent pool doesn't fall off when you get in a High Points bench. It just stays the same, and it stays even, and we're seeing that here early tonight in the first half.
Gilmore along the far side. Still battling the Highlanders now, taking the energy up a little bit. That's how it goes in playoffs. 7:40 to play in the first half, 1-0. Panthers lead over Radford.
And High Point's had a little bit of an issue this year, Jimmy, when it comes to giving up quick goals. So what happens is they score a goal, but then they give one up in the following 2 minutes. So High Point needs to keep that intensity high, and I think that's what the thought process here is with Coach McGinnis, was keeping the bench players in, providing that spark, keeping the energy up and high.
On the far side, throw in Carly Smith. Quick battle between her and Peyton Gilmore now. Highlanders win it. Now towards the goal line. Goal kick up and coming from McKessie now as they wave the flag. It would have been close there on which way it would have been. However, Dewey does a good job to box out there and force it in favor of the Panthers.
Now we're seeing a lot of the High Point coaching staff talking with their starters, trying to hash out that game plan, make sure that everybody's on the same page going into the second half.
Ali Ruiz at midfield battles. Back over to Vaughn. Now to DePerno. DePerno at midfield. Intended for Garmy down at the sideline. Too much power, and that one will roll out of bounds. As she says, my bad. It was a good look, just too much power.
Absolutely. Love the idea. Love the run from Garmy as well. If she had it, she corralled it. She had grass and players to pass to. So High Point keeping the intensity high. Even though they have a 1-goal lead, they know they need more.
Oh, look at this one. Slips by the back line in the Panthers. Garmy makes up for it. Sends it back to McKessie. Trying to put pressure on her is Rosenberg for the Highlanders, but McKessie sends it back up past midfield. Couple of heads collide. Ball still up in the air. Highlanders send it back into the attacking third now. Dewey puts it high up into the air. Short gets ahead on it. Sends it to Rosenberg. Quick move, trying to get past Garmy. Stepping up to help out is Neubauer. Now it's to Short. Entering the box. Lily Short, the only player you really don't want to let break loose here. And DePerno realizes it, steps up in tremendous fashion, forcing a goal kick now. Excuse me, they're going to give her the corner kick. It looked like it almost went out fully on Lily Short, but they overturned that one. And the Panthers are going to have to lock down on defense here for the first corner kick of the game, coming for the Highlanders. I believe that's 3 or 4 corner kicks now for the Panthers compared to Radford's 1.
This will be the first opportunity we see from them tonight. And Radford is also super dangerous from these corner set pieces. High Point really needs to be sure that they man up and D up here.
Highlanders corner kick, almost everyone in the box. As that one slips off the foot a little bit, and it'll hit the side of the net. So a goal kick coming now for McKessie. June Stevens on the attempt there for the Highlanders.
Talking about their last matchup with Radford, you know, we talked to Coach McGinnis a little bit after the game, leading up to that game against Asheville, and he said, you know, High Point, you know, with the exception of the first 30 minutes of that game, played like the better team. As here we go, Alex Murphy down the sideline.
Almost broke free, but now a battle across the sideline. Flag goes up. They give it to the Highlanders, and the Panthers bench doesn't like that one.
But as I was saying, he talked about, you know, High Point was the better team in that game, you know, after the last 60 minutes. In the last 60 minutes of that game, they were the better team. And so we're seeing it here tonight. High Point is playing super well early, but they got to make sure that they D up, do not let anything get in deep behind them. As we'll see another sub, Casey Resker, the freshman, will step in for Megan Garmy. So Coach McGinnis putting a lot of trust in his freshman here in this playoff game early.
And part of that could be just developing their experience now in the postseason, right? You got to develop your future. You've put them in all season long. Now you're putting them in a postseason game, a semifinal game where there's a lot of pressure. They'll get the feel for it, and the future of the program continues to develop. 3:30 now to play in the first half. 1-0 Panthers still lead. Ali Ruiz on the attack, in the attacking third now. Slows things down, looking across inside. Getting a hold of it is Gilmore. Panthers slow things down. Rotates to the far side, near side now. Oh, what a move there from Neubauer. Neubauer breaks free. Another great move. Neubauer just one woman up beat, and oh, the Radford defense steps up one more time, Matt. It's that back defender. No matter who it is, somebody finds a way to step up for the Highlanders, and they've done it again there.
That was an insane sequence from Lily Neubauer. She shakes one defender, gets past another one just through sheer willpower. I don't even know how she got through. But a phenomenal play, and she was going to let the shot rip, but Radford's defense stepping in at the last second. Wow, what a sequence from Lily Neubauer.
So some tremendous footwork from Lily Neubauer. And a smart play from the Highlanders there at the end of it, which would lead to a throw-in rather than a corner kick. It was right at the corner. But the Highlanders' defense stepped up, kicked it out of bounds. And now the second throw-in coming for the Panthers here in their own corner. Their own attacking third corner. Oh, and she's trapped by 2 Highlanders stepping up. She does a great job to force it off the leg. That's Alex Murphy using the footwork once again. This time, Casey Resker throws it in. Couple of legs collide. Neubauer gets a hold of it. She'll split the defenders. Breaking free now. She's forced to use the left foot if she can get that cross off. Body collides. They call it clean in between Helena Wilson and Lily Neubauer. Ball now floats towards midfield. It's DePerno who gets a hold of it, resets it to Caroline Dewey, and they look to switch it to the far side.
Dewey looking for Gilmore in deep now.
Smart play. Gilmore breaking free. Gilmore crosses it inside, and getting a head on it was Murphy, but not on target.
I like the idea there. Gilmore getting to her strong foot on the left side, finding Alex Murphy in the box. Murphy just couldn't get it on goal. But again, High Point has looked like the better team here through 45 minutes. Radford's intensity is there. They've had their opportunities, but High Point, now with a 1-goal lead, has really stepped it up and locked it down.
Just 1 minute to play in the first half, 1-0. High Point leads over the Highlanders. It's been back and forth, to say the least. This ball floats to midfield. Lily Short sends a long through ball past DePerno. Dewey steps up, gets a foot on it, and then forces it out of bounds. McKessie now with a goal kick up and coming with just 40 seconds to play now in the first half. So a lot of subs stepped in. You're seeing almost every starter for the High Point Panthers off the field. Almost every starter off the field. Of course, DePerno and Dewey staying on. Ella Vaughn staying on as well, and Aubrey McKessie in net. Everyone else.
That's what we saw earlier in the year as well, with DePerno and Vaughn playing the entire half.
And you got to love that decision from Coach McGinnis. He's trying to keep those feet fresh for that second half, because that's when it's really going to matter. Second half, postseason play. You got 10 seconds left here. Get everyone on the bench into the field, develop your program, and really try and keep those legs fresh. As we have 3 seconds now, 2-1. That'll do it for the first half. 1-0. Panthers lead here, Matt, in Matthews. It was a phenomenal goal off the cross. What are you seeing here?
High Point has just looked like the better team here in this first half. They come out with more intensity. They come out with more passion. Radford hasn't looked bad. Don't get me wrong. Radford has looked really, really good. But that first 20 to 30 minutes of that game where they were getting their opportunities, getting balls in, that's what they need to play to. High Point is a little bit susceptible with that, with the defense that they play. And so they need to make sure that High Point isn't being too over-pursuing, over-aggressive. They've taken it back a little bit because they're up a goal, but they have to make sure that they don't get too aggressive, because it leads to Radford counters and Radford goal opportunities.
The analysis from Matt Santana, Jimmy Roselli here on play-by-play in Matthews, North Carolina. Semifinals play here for the Big South Conference. The Panthers lead 1-0 at the end of the first half. We will see you in 15 minutes after our halftime report. And we welcome you back to Matthews, North Carolina. Jimmy Roselli alongside Matt Santana. The teams enter back onto the field, and we sit at 1-0 in favor of the High Point Panthers over the Radford Highlanders here in the Big South semifinals game. Matt, we talked a little bit about our first half opinions on both sides, right? We thought that Radford really needed to spark a little bit offensively, and the Panthers need to start capitalizing more on their own opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Radford's going to come out with a fire here in this second half. They know what's at stake in this game. And they're not going to let this opportunity go to squander. They're going to come out hard. They're going to come out fast. High Point needs to make sure that they match the intensity coming out of the locker room. We've seen them come out a little bit lackluster at times, but they know what's at stake. We talked to Coach McGinnis about it all year. He said this is an extremely self-aware group. They know what's at stake here. They know what's going on. They got to be locked in coming out of halftime here, and I expect that they will.
Yeah, and something we also talked about was the fact that this game should be 3-2 right now in favor of the Panthers when it comes to the opportunities that have been had, right? One play in particular that comes to mind for me is Johnson's cross to Albers for the Highlanders in the first half, right? She made a tremendous move on the far sideline, made the cross over to the near side post where Albers, all she had to do was get a foot on it. There was just a lot of power on it, and she missed it. That could have been the first goal of the game and a momentum killer for the Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Radford, they're going to look to do that again all night. They're looking to spread High Point's defense out, send crosses in from midfield, and send crosses in from the far side and the near side. They want to do that. That's how they play. That's their play style. High Point needs to make sure that they don't spread the defense too thin and they cover up where they need to. And if you're High Point, exactly what you've been doing has been working. That high press is done. You wonders, and you're working, and you're getting out in transition, and you're making the most of those transitions opportunities. If High Point continues to do that, they're going to be in good shape the rest of this game.
Yeah, only 1-0 we sit. The game before this between Presbyterian and USC Upstate, they sat 0-0 heading into the final 10 minutes, where the end score would be 2-1 in favor of USC Upstate. So whoever wins this game tonight will face them in the finals on Sunday here in Matthews Sportsplex. Hopefully we'll be here if the Panthers win. If
Absolutely.
Radford wins, we will be home watching it ourselves, which would be, I don't know. It'd be all right. I guess
all right.
We'll probably order some popcorn.
Would much rather be here, but
So the teams enter the field 37 seconds before second half kickoff. The Panthers have a very similar lineup to their starting lineup, almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. You see all those star players back on the field. Saba Hagu, Tessa Carlin, Meg Roden, Ella Vaughn. A lot of the players have entered the field. They went out early on. They got their rest, and now they're going to come out fired up here in the second half.
Absolutely, and I'm calling it right now, Jimmy. This is going to be an explosive second half. Would not surprise me if we saw minimum 3 goals here from between both sides here in this second half. This is going to be a high-powered offensive second half, and you just hope it comes out in favor of the Panthers.
No doubt. For our sake, at least, right? If you're the Highlanders, maybe the other way around, but this is High Point Radio, so we're going to say it. Opening kickoff, getting set. Horn blows, final huddle, for the Highlanders, and the Panthers are already set and ready to fight.
Yeah, these leaders for for Radford and Lily Short, Paige Olson, they know what's at stake here. They're getting their team hyped up in that huddle, taking their sweet time coming out of the half here.
You got to discuss things. You're down 1-0. This is a big game. You're looking to punch your ticket to the finals. You work all season long for this. Radford, of course, picked to win the Big South Conference in the preseason polls and then fell short as USC Upstate were the regular season champions. But now you see the Panthers and the Highlanders going head-to-head. Second half kickoff is underway, and Radford sends it far into the attacking third as the Panthers tap it out of bounds. And the first throw-in of the second half up and coming for the Highlanders.
And we were talking about it over the break, Jimmy, when we were radio silent. This Radford team is too good. If you're High Point, you need a second goal. You know that Radford, they don't get shut out very often. So if you're High Point, you need to look for that second goal. Keep pressuring them, but don't overpressure.
Yeah, in playoff soccer, one goal is not enough, just like in playoff baseball, right? You have one run, it's not enough. And what a move here from Johnson, attacking into the box. Johnson's cross is quick, but the defense steps up for the Panthers. Sending it now the other way. Hagu gets ahead on it. Over to Carlin, heavily guarded. It's Wilson using the body, punches her away. Carlin, gritty though, bouncing back. She's fighting still. Silverstone sends it down into the attacking third. It's Johnson at the sideline. Corbron defending. Just makes a phenomenal move. Johnson crossing. Johnson hits the crossbar. Oh, what a shot from the left side. But misses as it just barely nicks the top of the crossbar. Wow. Johnson coming out fired up here. Back-to-back plays there in the first minute and a half here.
She's had 2 phenomenal moves on Amelia Corbin on the near side here early. McKessie did her best to get up, but luckily ball hits the crossbar and goes over. And if you're Radford, you're gonna keep going that way and look for Johnson.
For sure after that. And we talked about that play for the first half, right? She crossed it to Albers. She is really good off that first move that she makes. Just like in basketball, the jump shot off the dribble, it's Johnson off her first move. Taking control for the Highlanders is Silverstone. Looking to attack. Through ball, pass Corbin. Johnson gets control, Johnson crosses. It gets past everyone into the middle, but nobody's home.
Well, that's a dangerous pass. Somebody's got to corral that ball and get it out of the box.
Olsen. Chucking it inside, Johnson gets a foot on it. Corbin beats her.
It's a good clearance from Corbin. Get it out back to midfield. Wilson now controlling it.
Highlanders have been very, very strong offensively here to start the second half. 42-35 to play. And it's been all Radford.
Yeah, absolutely. McKessie with a great effort there to try and prevent a corner for Radford. But, I mean, I said it, did I not, Jimmy? Coming out of the break, Radford was going to come out with a fire, and they've done it so far here
no doubt.
Early. They know what's at stake in this game. High Point needs to come back and match the intensity that Radford is bringing right now.
It's almost like you're an analyst here, Matt. Knew exactly what was coming from the Highlanders.
I try my best. I try my best.
First corner kick of the second half coming. And it's Paige Olsen, the junior, out of Roanoke, Virginia. Olsen. Long corner kick, and that's dangerous inside, but McKessie all over it. Aubrey McKessie makes the save and then grabs it. Tip your cap to the brick wall.
Conference Newcomer of the Year for a reason. One of the best goalies in the Big South.
And Paige Olsen just continuing to throw those extra shoves after the play. That time to Amelia Corbin. At midfield, sent in by Jillian Silverstone.
McKessie comes out of the box to come get that, bring it back in. That was a dangerous play from the keeper there.
You got to give her some credit there, IQ-wise. She came out of the box, kicked it into the box, and then picked it up herself. She knew it wasn't a pass from her own teammate. She was clearly allowed to do it, and she stopped a big possession that could have came for the Highlanders.
The risky play, though. She had Albers up on her, but still made a play on it.
At midfield now. Corbin on the throw-in, guarded by Olsen. DeHaven and Carlin communicate. Ball still loose, battling for it is Kirkgate. She sends it back to Wilson. Wilson slows things down, little floater to midfield. Ella Vaughn gets the first head on it. Lily Short was looking for a call. No call was made. Ball still in the air now. Vaughn and Short go back and forth. Little extra shove from Short. And now a long through ball. Intended for Olsen. Corbin all over her. Olsen generates some space, trying to make a move. Sends it right back. Crossing inside. Stepping up is Vaughn and DePerno. And that one rolls out of bounds. Now a throw in up and coming for Jillian Silverstone. Paige Olsen back to Silverstone. She sends it to the middle of the field.
This is a complete reversal early here, Jimmy. Through about 6 minutes of play, Radford has just been dominating High Point here early. And McGinnis going to the bench immediately and bringing in Casey Resker.
And Casey Resker looking to step on. We'll see who she takes out. McGinnis had some words for her saying, get fired up and get out there. Clearly he sees something.
He understands the level of intensity that needs to be brought right now. Resker, although she's a freshman, she's super physical on the defensive side of the ball, and they need that physicality right now.
Whistle blows, subs step on, and Corbin steps off, and that's who I thought he was going to go to anyway. The size difference there on this left side of the field seems to be something that he wants to change with physicality. And Casey Resker, not the biggest player, right? They actually very similar in size between her and Corbin. But Casey Resker known for her physicality, right? She brings that physical presence. They probably need that grit. And look at this move from Carlin. Carlin breaks free. Oh, what a save. Oh, my goodness. I almost called it, Matt. Tessa Carlin, way overdue there for that one. Ball still loose. Roden, look at this behind the back pass. Hagoo crossing, nobody's home. Oh, what a chance. Back and forth for the Panthers. A gorgeous behind the leg pass. It was a backheel pass, I guess is the best way to describe that. Slips it into the box. Saba Hagoo gets control of it, sends it across into Carlin, and she just couldn't get her foot on it. It was tremendous.
And that's when you want back if you're High Point. She found Saba Hagoo on the inside. She crossed it. Kari Powell was there on the back post. But just a missed opportunity. If you're High Point, that's one you need to have back. Game should be 2-0 right now in favor of High Point.
Panthers still battling back here offensively as they fell down early here in the second half. 37:53 to play in the game. 1-0. Panthers still lead over Radford.
Radford's bringing a ton of physicality right now. High Point needs to match.
Roden loses control of that one as the battle between her and a few Highlanders. Sending it back to midfield. Carlin gets control. Taken back away. Couple of great moves from Kirkgate. She falls down hard, looks for a call. Nobody's there. Paige Olsen picks up the slack. Back past midfield now. Wilson to the near side. Silverstone. Long through ball intended for Olsen. That'll roll out of bounds, and the Panthers now with a throw in up and coming. Casey Resker grabs a hold of it.
High Point needs to start getting spread out again and start getting the ball moving. Every time they get the ball, they kind of get corralled by the Radford defense. They need to start getting out in space and getting the ball moving again.
Resker awaiting the throw in. Up and over Kari Powell. Wilson takes control for the Highlanders. Pass inside to Albers. Albers over to Wilson. Now to the far side. Looking to try and slip past Dewey. But she read that one well. Sends it up to DeHaven. DeHaven now to Carlin on the near side. Carlin at midfield. Chooses to head backwards. Sends it to Elevon, and she'll bring it forwards. Lily Short heavily guarding her. Finds a beautiful pass intended for Kari Powell. Now a battle between her and Wilson in the attacking third. Wilson tries to get this one upfield. Kari Powell all over it. Sends it out of bounds. But Radford now with a throw in their own defending third.
Powell slow to get up after that one. She took it right off the inside of the foot. It's not a place you want to take it. With her toughness, though, she's gritting through it. A little bit of a limp, though, so something to watch out for.
And we've seen her take some tumbles, but battle through. It's that grittiness that she brings to the team as Dewey uses the head to send it back in after that long pass from the Highlanders. Now at midfield, Radford. Long through ball. Johnson giving chase in her own corner. The attacking third for the Highlanders looking to try and make something happen. DePerno gets a foot on it, slows things down. Johnson crosses one more time, but nobody's home this one. Rolling towards the sideline. Both teams battle. It's Resker and Olsen. And they leave it with the Panthers.
This has been an intense first 10 minutes from both sides. Both teams understanding what's at stake here. Intensity is at an all-time high right now.
So the whistle blows, and they're going to give the call to the Highlanders as there was some back-and-forth talk. Jillian Silverstone on the throw-in.
It was a major miscommunication there from the High Point defense. A Highlander was left wide open in the midfield.
And this ball still loose now. Cutting across the middle is Albers. Albers looking to fire. McKessie lays out, but it misses wide on the right side of the net.
And they're going to give it a corner
Wow.
to Radford. I didn't see a deflection with the naked eye, but clearly our referee saw something there to give Radford a corner.
Well, you saw Albers cut across the middle. I'm waiting for the Jumbotron review. She took a real hard shot that looked to curve. It didn't look to deflect at all. It looked that it was curving right to left, missing on that right post. McKessie laid out, but there was no even need to do so. As you saw, it missed by about 6 feet. So maybe there was a deflection there that we missed.
High Point needs to start taking control right now because with the way Radford's playing in the second half, feels like it's only a matter of time before they get one to go in the back of the net.
Corner kick coming for the Highlanders. This one heads inside. Johnson gets a foot on it, floats up. Vaughn kicks it back out. Tessa Carlin gains control. The Panthers send it up, out, and out of bounds at midfield. That's a smart play from Tessa Carlin to get that ball out of the own attacking third.
Absolutely. Give the defense a little bit of a breather here. Get the pressure off of them. Start to rely on your midfielders and your forwards a little bit to play a little bit of defense of their own. Maybe create a turnover and get out in transition.
On the throw in now is going to be Jillian Silverstone for the Highlanders. Subs looking to step on for the Panthers. Believe it's Lily Neubauer.
And it will be. Neubauer had a phenomenal first half, so it'll be interesting to see who she takes out. My guess is it's going to be Kari Powell. She's still walking with a little bit of a limp there on her foot.
So a battle inside the box. It tips off Ella Vaughn, and now another corner kick up and coming for the Highlanders. A couple of big possessions offensively for Radford. They have no quit in this one. 33 minutes to play, 1-0 Panthers still lead. If you're just joining us, Jimmy Roselli alongside Matt Santana here in Matthews, North Carolina.
Another dangerous spot for Radford to be in. They're having Caroline Dewey match up with Jay Shara Johnson, which makes sense. Johnson standing at 5'8", Dewey at 5'9". You like the height matchup there.
Olsen on the corner kick. Olsen inside. This one hits off the head of a few players, and it bounces out towards the far sideline. A battle at the sideline. They say it sticks with the Highlanders. So a throw in for the in the attacking third for the Highlanders. Throw into Johnson. Roden battles. Now to DeHaven. She sends it up to midfield. Carlin gets control. Hard contact between Carlin and Wilson. No whistle blown. Carlin gets right back up. She doesn't mind. Look at this through ball from Kari Powell. Tessa Carlin inside. Trying to make one more move. And the contact again. No call. And we're shocked.
And they're going to give us a corner to High Point. I don't know how that's not a penalty in the box there. Referee going to his microphone for a potential review, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it. Wow. I don't know how that one's not a penalty there, Jimmy.
I mean, there was a clear play there.
Clear and obvious.
She wasn't going for the ball whatsoever.
Clear and obvious use of force. There was no play on the ball. I'm not sure how that is not a penalty there for High Point. But Meg Roden is the one that will be stepping off the field for High Point. Lily Neubauer checks in. And we just saw the review on the Jumbotron, Jimmy. I don't know. I don't know how you don't call that.
I don't want to be too biased here, but I cannot believe it. On the corner kick now. Army sends it in.
Oh.
Ball still loose, and wow. That one, oh my goodness. There's the generator.
DePerno just sent that one to the moon.
That would have been an explosion.
My gosh. We need a power outage right now. With the way DePerno kicked that one, my goodness.
My goodness. Well, if the net was 30 yards back and 40 yards to the right, it would have been on net.
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
It was a weird spinning ball, though, to defend DePerno. Bounced off the head of a Highlander, spun weirdly towards her, because there was multiple players involved in that play that caused it to bounce over to her, and she kicked it off the fly. And, you know, it's one of those shots that's just like, okay, things happen. 30-30 now to play in the game. 1-0. Panthers still lead. Radford offensively has really picked things up in the second half.
And it feels like kind of anytime High Point gets a little bit of momentum going that right, Radford immediately takes it right back. And they're doing it again here right now, pressuring High Point in their defensive third.
Ball bounces out of bounds. It'll stay with the Highlanders. Looks to be Johnson down.
Johnson might have taken a kick to the face there from Dewey. Our referee saying something to Johnson. Not sure if it's along the lines of stand up and play on or checking on her to make sure she's okay.
They are really not blowing the whistle here tonight, Matt.
Not at all. We've only seen maybe a handful of fouls here tonight.
Oh, look at this cross inside! Lily Short ties it for Radford. We are tied at 1 with 30 to play here in the second half.
And that is just your best player making a play. A phenomenal cross on the inside. And Lily Short being in the right place. With her ball skills, there's no way that ball isn't getting on net with her touching it. A phenomenal play from the Highlanders. And just like that, we're all knotted up at 1. I said it was going to be a high-scoring second half, excuse me. And here we are with our first goal of the second half. Radford tying it up.
Wow. Phenomenal. You got to give her credit, Lily Short. Anything inside the box, she's going to finish. That's her 10th on the season.
And Lily Short, we talked about Megan Garmy having to make a statement tonight. Lily Short, you got to know that she's upset about not getting that Big South Offensive Player of the Year award, and she's making her feelings known tonight.
It was close to us this time, Matt, as that one sent way out of bounds into the stands. Only about 20 yards left of us. You know, if I wasn't on broadcast here, I'd be screaming, hit it over here, but it's okay.
Opportunity to make a play, perhaps.
Now at the back line, DePerno sends it in. Couple of heads collide. Lily Short, the one who's just scored here for Radford and tied it up. It was her 10th on the season. She now heads to 23 points on the season. Ball bounces out of bounds. The Panthers now take control. 28-26 to play in the game. 1-1 we sit between the Highlanders and the Panthers. Once again, if you're just joining us, Jimmy Roselli and Matt Santana on the call here in Matthews, North Carolina, Big South semifinals. And it has been action-packed, to say the least, as this one slides out of bounds from Tessa Carlin. And she's trying to amp up her team here, Matt. She's verbally telling them, let's go, let's go, let's go.
High Point bench trying to get them fired up as well. You know, this team, I said it earlier during the halftime break, they're self-aware. They know what they need to do right now. They need to pick up the intensity. They need to pick up the pace, because Radford has just been dominating them in the second half so far.
Bad footwork there from Johnson and Radford, as that one will slide out of bounds. Bad mistake offensively for the Highlanders, and now a throw-in coming towards midfield.
And McGinnis, no hesitation, going to his bench, bringing in Allie Ruiz for Kari Powell.
Got to keep the legs fresh here. And Kari Powell, you're going to want to come in fresh in the final 15 minutes, maybe even earlier. Saba Hagu steps up, trying to defend Wilson. She'll send it up past midfield, and Dewey gets another hold on it, sending it back towards us. That's the second time, but it'll hit up on top of the roof, and we both put our hands up in hopes, but close but no cigar. Now at midfield, it's Silverstone. 27-12 to play. Johnson does a good job to box out the defender there in Casey Resker and send it to her teammate in Albers, who misses wide, and a goal kick coming now for Aubrey McKessie.
Yeah, Abers thought that Johnson was going to make a run down the left side, but she didn't. She stayed where she was, and now High Point getting a chance here as Peyton Gilmore will step back onto the field for Lindsay DeHaven.
Here comes DePerno off the goal kick. It was a short pass. DePerno at midfield now. Quick pass to Neubauer. Neubauer comes across the middle. Neubauer looking to make a move. Quick pass inside the box. Gilmore tried to keep control of it. Stepping up there was Nottingham. Gilmore puts some pressure on her towards the end line.
And something to note here, Kari Powell was getting a wrap put on her foot. So clearly that injury that she sustained probably about 10 minutes ago affecting her greatly, as they'll wrap her up, hopefully be able to get her back on the field in the waning minutes of the game.
Ooh, long pass here, and this one's going to beat all the back line on the Panthers. It's Paige Olsen on the attack. McKessie comes out, and whoa, what a save. Aubrey McKessie puts the body on the line and makes the biggest stop of the year for the High Point Panthers.
What a play from McKessie. That was miraculous, if anything. Paige Olsen was one-on-one with her. She had all the opportunity in the world, but McKessie doing a nice job getting long and getting sideways, extending the body out, making a great save, and then Dewey on the clearance. But again, if you're High Point, you need to lock it in right now. You have to lock up defensively. Radford is just owning you here in the second half.
She put the body on the line there, Matt. That was intense.
It's a great play.
Took a cleat to the chest almost.
High Point needs to feed off of that intensity from their goalie, off of their leaders. Tessa Carlin, you said it, Jimmy. She's been firing up her team, trying to keep them in the game here.
Yeah, but Cassie joins the fun now. After that save, she was verbal with her team saying, let's go, let's go. Same thing as Tessa Carlin just a few minutes ago. Two leaders on this team stepping up and trying to motivate. 1-1, we are still tied with 24 minutes to play in the second half.
Radford's defense has, they came out a little flat in the first half, Jimmy. There's no denying that. They came out flat, but they've stepped it up here in this second half. High Point, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They have to match the intensity.
In the back line now. Wilson to Olsen. And here comes the Highlanders past midfield. DeHaven. And Garmy steps up. Crossing. Dewey gets ahead on it. Garmy controls, kicks it off a Highlander, goes back past the end line, and now a goal kick up and coming for Aubrey McKessie.
High Point's got to find something here and get something going offensively.
Yeah, you've seen this ball really stay in their defending third for a majority of this second half.
Ooh, and a bad strike there from McKessie. It looked like she just missed it.
Ali Ruiz takes some contact with Ava Kirkgate. No whistle blows. Rolls out of bounds. And the Panthers have a throw in now. About 20 yards from midfield. Casey Resker on the throw in. Finds Saba Hagu. She's been quiet tonight.
Excuse me, Rafford's done a very good job of keeping her in check tonight.
Ooh, here comes Vaughn now, making a good move. Switches to her left leg. Now to the far side. Garmy. Back over to Ella Vaughn. Vaughn with a long through ball. Looking for Peyton Gilmore. A lot of power on it, though, and that one's going to roll way past the end line. So a goal kick up and coming for Ralvani. Lexi Ralvani has looked phenomenal so far for Radford. Only one slip up, but she's had her work cut out for her in the first half. Here in the second, a little bit more quiet. And Matt talked about that earlier on. It's almost switched when it comes to the possession time. First half dominated by the Panthers. Second half dominated by Radford. First half, Lexi Ralvani had almost all the action. And here in the second half, it's all on Aubrey McKessie. 22:05 now to play. 1-1, Panthers tied with Radford.
The Panthers are getting killed on the wings right now, and what that means is that they might be over-pressuring in the middle. They need to make sure that they still maintain that pressure on the outside as well while not over-committing to the middle. You have help up the middle when it comes to, defensive presence and plays and things like that, but if you're one-on-one on the outside, you're one-on-one on the outside. You've got to make sure that you stay strong and don't get beat.
Well, good news here on the sideline. Kari Powell looks to be walking in okay after the tape. Oh, hard push here on the sideline from Silverstone to Gilmore. Free kick up and coming, no card given.
And our referee giving a little bit of conversation to Silverstone now, letting her know to calm it down.
Official tells Johnson to back up. It'll be Caroline Dewey on the free kick. Dewey, lots of power from this distance. We'll see what she can do. There's the cross, sliding right to left as this one gets through everybody. Carlin just couldn't get a touch on it. And it'll roll up past the end line.
It was a good look, good opportunity. Dewey maybe could have gotten a little more under it, but the pass was there. It was in the box, just no plays made. Your High Point, you need to start drawing a lot more of those opportunities. And we were talking about High Point needing offense. Alex Murphy is starting to get loose on the sideline, so you wanted offense. There she is.
Alex Murphy had quite a bit of playing time in the first half, and she'll make her return here in the second in just a few minutes. Battle here at the back line. Olsen using her speed, Garmy using her body, and she was smart to use it. As no whistle was blown, she played the ball well, and the officials are really letting them go after each other tonight.
And that was not a foul, Jimmy. That was an absolutely clean play. We talked about it a little bit before. Garmy, the rules when it comes to penalties and things like that, Garmy was making a play on the ball. There was play on the ball intentions there. Olsen just kind of fell down because Garmy tripped her on the follow-through, but that was a clean play from Megan Garmy.
Long through ball from Gilmore and Ruiz. Ruiz takes a tumble between her and Wilson on the one-on-one. No whistle blows.
That was a good play there and good effort from Ruiz. But Radford's been the far more physical team here. High Point is a little bit more trying to draw fouls as opposed to just playing physically. I think they need to start just matching up now and meeting that physicality with physicality rather than falling back and falling into that physicality.
You got to think this was the game plan from Radford coming in. They were trying to out-physical the Panthers and take away their talent by trying to intimidate them. And so far, it's worked but not worked. Both ways, 1-1, we sit with just 19 minutes to play. Gilmore sends it to the far side. The Panthers entering the box as collision happens. Full extension. No whistle blows. Now still loose. Neubauer looking to cross inside, but a big save from Ravagnan. Ravagny.
And that
What
was
a play.
That was a great chance from Lily Neubauer. She put a couple moves on, was able to get a loose ball back and put a shot on net.
Coach is getting verbal on the sideline now, on both sides. Trying to get Sabahagu to pressure there.
They can sort of tell that this team is starting to get flat, and they're trying not to let it happen. And it looks like Hagu will come off the field. Hagu just looks gassed. She just looks tired.
And she'll step off.
She's played a lot of minutes tonight, more than she's used to playing. And Murphy will step on for her. But now with Murphy and Gilmore on the front, you get a little bit of that mix of finesse and physicality as well.
This was the lineup that scored the first goal in the first half.
Yes.
Right? So you got to have trust in it. It may not be your starters. It may not be the players that lead the team in the statistics. However, this is the team, this is the lineup that made it happen in the first half for the Panthers, and we'll see if they can do it again. Lily Short at midfield for Radford. Sends it across. Far side. Trying to slip it by the Panthers defense. Dewey steps up.
It's a great touch from Garmy.
Ruiz on the near side. Kirkgate, full contact on Ruiz. No whistle blows. And you got to think these Panthers have really got to start snapping back now. They've just taken falls after falls.
That was more of just a good play from Kirkgate. Ruiz fell because of the contact, yes, but it was a play on the ball. So good play from Kirkgate there.
Good play or not, though, Matt, you got to think falling and getting out physical, you're going to get annoyed. I'm getting annoyed watching it, right? You don't like when you're getting pushed around. They're getting bullied out there right now physically. That's the honest way to put it. They got to bounce back. They got to fight back. You can have all the talent in the world, but if they're going to shove you to the ground, you can't do anything down there. Gilmore. Across midfield. It's Carlin. Carlin with a big move. Cutting across. The Highlanders step back up. It's Gilmore now. Gilmore takes a shot from the deep spot. Hits off the top of the crossbar. What a beautiful rifle that could have been.
That was a phenomenal shot from Peyton Gilmore just outside the 18. Would have been her second goal of the night. Taking a look at it here on the big board. She was open. She had the shot. Was looking top right corner. Just hit the top of the crossbar. She puts that on. There is no way that Ravagnani is getting there. A really good shot from Peyton Gilmore, but just missing. I feel like that's been the theme so far in this second half for High Point is the near misses.
And we talked about it at halftime, Matt. They got to start capitalizing. The Highlanders found a way to do so here in the second half. Can the Panthers answer back as we sit at 1? 15 minutes to play now. Johnson making a move at center field. In the attacking third, the Highlanders trying to generate some space. Olsen and Garmy going head-to-head still. They've been face-guarding each other all game long. It continues here in the second half.
Garmy again doing a phenomenal job turning Olsen away. And Jayshua Johnson has been slow to get up after that play. She's limping now.
Ball bounces back and forth. Dewey sends it up past midfield.
Oh,
Here comes the speed.
Look at the pursuit for Murphy there. She was flying up the field to try and make a play.
A lot of talent from Alex Murphy. She doesn't get that start very often, but coming off the bench here, she's made an impact tonight. She was the one who crossed it to Peyton Gilmore to cause the goal, and here's the footwork from her again at midfield.
And another Panther getting ready to come back in. Emily Mashinsky will step onto the pitch, as well as Eileen Albers will step back onto the field for Radford. So after starting the second half, taking a little bit of a rest, Radford going back to the bench. Or excuse me, back to their starters.
Physicality continues here. 2 Highlanders down after that play.
Subs will step on now. Mashinsky for Carlin. Allbirds for Kirkgate.
And Kirkgate was very physical here on the near side all game long. I'm surprised he just took Tessa Carlin out, though.
I expect her to be back on the field within, I would say, probably the next 5 to 7 minutes.
In the final.
Expect to see her back on the field, and I would also expect to see DeHaven and Hagu back on the field as well.
Yep, final 15 minutes now. 14:24 to play. You're still tied at 1, and potentially the biggest game of the season here in the semifinals of the Big South Conference.
It's been a tale of two halves here so far. High Point dominating the first half. Radford coming back out of the locker room and dominating the second.
Dewey sends it back to McKessie. McKessie over to Resker now on the near side. Resker gives it right back to McKessie, and she boots it just short of midfield. Mashinsky gets ahead on it. Gilmore battles right behind her. Here's Edwards. Ball now floats to the far side as Garmy and Olsen go head-to-head. Tackle from Olsen.
And Olsen letting our referee hear it. She better watch herself. We've seen him be a pretty no-nonsense tonight.
She's been verbal all game long.
And if you're Radford, that's something you like to see. You want that in a leader, them to be fired up when something doesn't go their way.
To an extent, for sure.
Absolutely. You don't want it to get to the point where you're getting carded for stuff like that, but you like to see Olsen get fired up. You can tell this game means something.
Panthers in the attacking third. Looking across. Inside. Punched back up. Still loose. Now at the top of the box. Floats out. Johnson boxes out. Resker. Resker wins the battle. Resker with a through ball. It's Ruiz giving chase, and Edwards. Edwards out physicals. Ball hits off the Highlanders, and it'll stay with the Panthers with a throw-in just outside the corner. Casey Resker grabs a hold of it and is looking to see what she can do with Johnson pressing up. Tough spot for the Panthers in the attacking third. Quick pass, Mashinsky to Vaughn. Vaughn inside to Ruiz. Ruiz crosses it to the top. Top of the box now. Gilmore back to Vaughn. Vaughn to Dewey. Dewey rushing it. Dewey almost puts it on net. And that would have been a phenomenal shot from deep. She was rushed to take it as that pass was unexpected from Vaughn.
And Dewey's been, we've seen her a couple times take shots like that this year from a little deeper than she probably should, but she put it on net. It was a good opportunity. And High Point, that's the High Point that we saw in the first half. Controlling possession, calm, quick passes. That's the High Point that we've seen in the first half and that we've seen when they win games. Can they maintain that intensity and keep that up throughout the remainder of this second half? Only time will tell.
That's something Coach McGinnis has talked to us so many times here, Matt, in our coaches' calls and our coaches' meetings. He always has said we need to stay calm offensively, especially inside the box, because that's when we play our best soccer. And tonight, we've seen them fall apart a little bit, but when they are, they're finding chances. The Highlanders attacking now. Olsen trying to get past Garmy, but once again, Garmy does the phenomenal things she needs to do defensively and shuts her down.
That's all I got. I mean, what a matchup that has been to watch all night. It's been so fun to see those two of the best players in the conference going at it on the same side of the field.
It's been a heck of a game for those right wings. And it's very funny to watch as well, Matt, because you look at Paige Olsen, right? Verbal, loud, getting angry at the official. Garmy taking the hits.
Stone cold.
Won't say anything.
Stone cold.
It's okay. Whatever. Hit me. I'm back up. It's a fun thing to watch because it's two completely different players. One that is so focused on offense and a little bit more loud and verbal, and one that is so focused on defense and very quiet, very... There's a whistle blows here, and that's a tough one.
There's been
for
plays
the Panthers to take.
There was a little bit of contact between Murphy and a Highlander. I couldn't quite see who on the far side, but that's the same amount of contact that's been happening all game. So for our referee to call it now with 10 minutes left in the second half, I just don't understand it. I can't see where he's coming from.
Free kick for Highlanders, nonetheless. From their defending third, past midfield, rolls out of bounds. Panthers have a throw-in. 10 minutes to play now, Matt. 1-1. We still sit. All the players that we saw start when we talked about the stars, at least, in Saba Hagu, Tessa Carlin, and Lindsay DeHaven, still on the sideline.
Have been shut down all
Same
night.
with Kari Powell.
Have been shut down all night with this Radford defense. Even Tessa Carlin, she's had her looks and her opportunities, but even she's been shut down tonight. High Point has to rely on that deep bench that they have in Peyton Gilmore, Alex Murphy, Emily Mashinsky, Allie Ruiz. Relied on them for heavy minutes tonight, and they've played well in the minutes they've been given. As that's Neubauer drawing a foul. Neubauer, another one that's been playing heavy minutes for them tonight and contributing heavily.
Humongous foul drawn for the Panthers. Neubauer took the fall, and now a free kick coming from a spot we've seen the Panthers score multiple times this season. Who will it be to take it?
Discussing now. I imagine it's going to be Megan Garmy, but Vaughn and Murphy also conversing with Garmy about who will take this kick. It could be something of a dump off or a tap off, or excuse me, that's DePerno speaking with Garmy. We've seen DePerno take these kicks as well, so both lining up. We'll see who it'll be.
8:50 to play. DePerno fakes it. Garmy with the kick. Inside the box. The first head collided from the Highlanders. Now rolling towards the sideline. Just barely rolls out. Casey Resker grabs a hold of it for the Panthers, and they get right to the action. Neubauer, heavily guarded from Albers.
And she just got out-muscled by Albers there.
Lily Short sends it downfield for Radford. DePerno sends it back to McKessie to reset. 8:20 to play now. 1-1, we still sit. Semifinals on the line. Vaughn. Over to Dewey on the near side. Full press coming from the Highlanders. Long through ball from Dewey, and you can see she's grasping for some air right now. Playing a whole lot of minutes, if not every minute of this game, is Caroline Dewey. Now on the attacking third, it's Emily Mashinsky. Edwards guarding heavily. Ball bounces out of bounds on the near side. Casey Resker now with the throw in for the Panthers. Just next to the corner.
And the intensity has certainly picked up here with about 8 minutes left.
Throw in, battle inside the box. Hard tumble for Alex Murphy. And a goal kick up and coming for Radford.
Another sub will come in now for Radford. Silverstone will step back onto the field.
Oh, Matt, I'm excited. 7:28 to play now. We still are tied at 1.
You're excited. I'm nervous over here, man. I'm worried. Radford has looked like the better team so far in this second half. High Point's really stepped it up. They've done well in the last 12 minutes or so, but game's not over yet. A lot of game left to play.
Long goal kick to midfield. Ball bounces through. Here comes Short. Not the girl you want to let shoot. Short fires, misses wide, but Aubrey McKessie gets a finger on it. So a corner kick up and coming for Radford.
And both Short and DePerno are down after that play. They collided when Short shot the ball. DePerno taking her time here, getting up, walking with a little bit of a limp. That is not somebody that you want to see come out right now if you're High Point.
McKessie got a finger on that one. It was missing wide anyway, so you got to think she might not be very happy about that touch. But the bottom line is a corner kick up and coming for Paige Olson and Radford. 1-1, 7:06 to play. Olson on the corner kick. The corner kick up and centered. Ball still loose. Still loose at the top of the box now. Coming in is Edwards. Edwards fires and misses way wide left. So the Panthers escape a jam. 6:50 to play now. McKessie to the far side. DePerno looking to try and send it forward. Johnson gets a foot on it. Sends it out of bounds and slows things down. 6:35 to play now. The throw in, still loose at midfield.
High Point's bench thought there was a foul there. Being very vocal.
Mashinsky pressuring at midfield. Here comes Clayton. Clayton now breaking free for Radford. Ruiz traveling right behind her. Swinging it out to the near side. It's Olson. Beautiful defense from Carly Smith, who gets a foot on it to try and save it on the sideline. Excuse me, Casey Resker attacked that one, and she was just short of it as it rolls out of bounds and a throw-in coming for Radford. Throw in. Taken by Olsen now. Olsen fires from the box. It's hit off the head of a few players. It's a battle. Ball still loose. Off the crossbar. And rolls up over the net. Oh my goodness, that would have been a chance there. I thought it was still in play. McKessie just out of the reach from Aubrey McKessie as it hits off the crossbar and forces the goal kick. But breaking free there was Radford, finding each other just on the top of the box and getting the shot off.
What did I say, Jimmy? Tessa Carlin and Lindsay DeHaving stepping back onto the field for the final 5 minutes of play for High Point. Something interesting to note, though, Saba Hagu is still on the bench, so Aaron McGinn is showing trust in Alex Murphy on that opposite side forward spot to make a play for the Panthers.
Matt, I find you hilarious right now watching you as I'm calling this game.
I'm nervous, man. What do you want? I'm nervous.
Oh, phenomenal. Ball breaks free. Radford in their own box. Ravani. Out of bounds in the far sideline. It's going to get pushed into the Highlanders' favor. Ball near the back line for Radford. They send it up towards midfield. Garmy gets the first head on it. Ball still up in the air. Now towards midfield. DePerno pressures. They send it way downfield. Past the back line of the Panthers. Dewey's the first one to touch it. Now inside our own box, 4:29 to play. We are still tied at 1 here in Matthews. This one sent up and past the far sideline. .407 to play now. Pressure mounts in Matthews, North Carolina. You could feel the energy between both benches.
Both benches being vocal, both coaches being vocal. This is going to be an intense last 5 minutes.
Oh, look at this ball from Alex Murphy. Here comes Ruiz. Inside the box, good defense from Wilson, who's just been locked down for Radford all game long, but Ruiz breaks free. Still getting out physical. Getting a foot on it, trying to clear it. Resker does a great job to beat her defender. Resker crosses. Stepping up was Radford. They send it up, out. Johnson grabs a hold of it. Now to Short. Short with a quick tap. Over to Dewey. Dewey sends it back in. Murphy trying to look outside.
That was almost a really good pass for Ruiz.
Just needed a bit more power. It was taken away by Kirkgate, and now Kirkgate looks to head the other way for Radford. Dewey and Albers battle at the near side sideline. Vaughn steps up. DePerno gets control for the Panthers. 2:53 now to play. 1-1 we sit. DePerno with a long cross past midfield. Ball slides back to the Panthers, and they choose to reset with just 2:40 to play. They'll take a grasp for air as the past minute and a half or so, there has not been a throw-in or a stoppage. Ruiz at midfield. Now a throw-in up and coming for Edwards. .210 to play. Still tied at 1. Semifinals and a ticket to the finals game here in the Big South Conference on the line. Resker on the throw-in for the Panthers. Wilson steps up, gets a head on it. Back over to Resker. Ruiz and Resker communicate. Resker takes control over to Carlin now at the top of the box. Carlin with a quick move as that one bounces off the head of a couple Highlanders. Mashinsky gets control. Mashinsky off the crossbar. Oh, what a shot from Mashinsky.
And High Point's bench is saying that that ball was tipped by Radford's goalkeeper. They're not going to get the call there, though. It'll be Radford ball with 1:30 left to play in regulation.
What a series of events for the Panthers there offensively. 1:26 now to play. We still sit at 1. Taking her time. In net. For Radford, they send it up towards midfield. Dewey gets a head on it. Now DeHaven. Battle between her and Short. Short and Vaughn. Short wins it. Sends it across to Johnson. Johnson on the far side of the box, looking across to Olsen. Olsen hits off the post. It hits off the head of the Panthers. And with 59 seconds to play, Radford takes the lead.
And that was Casey Resker that the ball went off of, and you can't even fault her there. She was trying to make a phenomenal effort in deflecting that pass. And it's Paige Olsen, who we've mentioned has been locked up by Megan Garmy all night. And in just that one instance, that one play, she was being guarded by Resker. Ball lands off the post, off of Resker's stomach, and into the net. Just an unfortunate sequence of events. It wasn't even anything Resker did. It was just an unfortunate bounce. And now it's Jashua Johnson that is down on the far side.
In shock right now, Matt. It was an own goal for the Panthers. With 59 seconds left in the season. Wow.
What a play.
Johnson's still down.
Making her way back up now. Sub will come on for her.
Panthers fired up. They're ready to go full-blown attack here. You got 59 seconds.
You need to with 59 seconds left.
There's still hope here if you're a Panthers fan. 59 seconds, never say never.
And now look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players lined up on offense for High Point. They're going to send the ball back to Dewey, and they're just going to go.
Here we go. Panthers got to attack quick. It's Carlin. Staying calm. Carlin sends it to the far side. Ruiz. Ruiz guarded by Edwards. Ruiz crosses. Vaughn. Header! Oh! Vaughn! Ice cold! Ella Vaughn! Never say never! Under the lights! It's Ella Vaughn who strikes again! Panthers tie it up with 45 seconds left!
Oh my gosh!
Do you believe in miracles?
Jimmy, that was 14 seconds of game time. It took High Point 14 seconds to tie this game up. And who else but Ella Vaughn?
Oh my goodness.
Suffered a dislocated shoulder about a month ago now. We didn't know she was going to come back for the rest of this season. We thought she was done.
42 seconds.
Comes back against Radford in that game against Virginia. Only plays about 10 minutes. Plays her first full game against UNC Asheville. Scores a hat trick. And now ties the game in the Big South semifinals with 30 seconds left. Talk about a miracle. Oh my gosh. You got to be kidding me.
Just when you thought it was over, Matt. Oh my goodness.
Still 15 seconds left. You never know what could happen, but wow.
Well, after that, I mean,
you gotta
come on
be
now.
kidding me.
You really don't know. 8 seconds now. 2-2. We sit, and this game is headed to overtime. A ticket on the line to the finals game against USC Upstate. And look at these benches. Radford now dead silent, and the Panthers fired up on the right side of the field.
Nobody needed that goal more than High Point. And look at Ella Vaughn. She doesn't even care. She's stone cold. And how about this? We're going to get 5 minutes for our first overtime period, but wow. What a moment for High Point.
We're going to take a short break here in Matthews, North Carolina, and try to mentally get ourselves back in this. 2-2 we sit. Overtime, up and coming, and a ticket on the line to the finals. We'll be back in just a second. And we welcome you back here to Matthews, North Carolina, where the Panthers and the Highlanders have absolutely duked it out on this field. I mean, a tremendous game on our hands. Jimmy Roselli alongside Matt Santana, delighted to have you with us for overtime, up and coming in just 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Matt, let's talk a little bit about this game. I mean, we started off very slow, right? It was 1-1. It was 1-0 heading into the second half. Radford would strike back. They'd tie it up 1-1. It would be dead silent for the next 40 minutes. And then in the final minute, there would be 2 goals scored, 1 for Radford, and then 10 seconds later, it would be Ella Vaughn for the High Point Panthers stepping up and tying this one up.
I mean, and who else? You know, she's been here all 4 years, scored a goal her freshman year, didn't see a goal until her hat trick against UNC Asheville to secure a first-round bye for High Point to get to this game, and now her putting it into overtime here with only a minute left. What a moment for this High Point squad, and if you're Radford, you can't let that shake you. You can't let it rattle you. You were the better team the entire second half. You have to come out with the same intensity that you did in the first half. The only issue is, for Radford, is Jay Sharma Johnson going to play in the second half? She went down with, or in this first overtime, excuse me, she went down with an injury, and she is up and walking around. It looks like she's going to come back onto the field for this overtime, and if she is, that's huge for Radford. She had that cross that led to the goal for Radford, but if you're High Point, that spark that you got, that intensity that you received, that adrenaline rush that just happened off of that goal, you need to use that here and now.
No doubt, Matt. And if I'm Johnson right now, you spoke about her injury, my leg better be hanging if I'm not stepping back on this field right now. Overtime play, a ticket to the finals on the line here to take on USC Upstate, the regular season champions of this Big South Conference. This is what you play for, right? You work all year long. You're tied 2-2, 2 goals in the final minute. Both teams are fired up. Let's take a look at our lineups out here, though. They're keeping the same look as they had in that final minute, and I don't disagree with Coach McGinnis. I was wondering, what was he going to do? Was he going to put his starters back on the field? No. He keeps that lineup back on the field between, you know, Megan Garmy, Peyton Gilmore, Mashinsky, Neubauer.
I want to wait till they spread out to
Yeah, I'm trying to list them when I can't see anything right now.
We'll wait till they spread out to confirm the rosters. But, I mean, for Radford, they're going with the same roster the same lineup that was on the field when they scored. And Jasper Johnson is walking with a little bit of a limp, so something to watch out for. High Point, though, trotting out to the field right now. They have DeHaven, Carlin, Peyton Gilmore, and it seems to be Lily Neubauer is stepping out there as well, along with Allie Ruiz, Ella Vaughn, Alex DePerno, Megan Garmy, Caroline Dewey, and Casey Resker. So High Point going with mostly the same look. The only changes, they're going with Gilmore over Alex Murphy. But wow, how about this, Jimmy? Overtime in the in the semifinals with a ticket to the Big South Final on the line. And just for you folks at home that don't know, it is golden goal in this overtime. So the first goal that hits the back of the net, this game is over. High Point's bench, they look loose, they look excited, they look like they're having fun. Let's see if that translates.
Oh, I'm fired up right now, Matt, and I'm broadcasting it. I wish I was on this field right now.
I can't relate. I feel like I'm going to puke. I'm so nervous.
10 minutes now on the clock. 2-2 we sit. Golden goal on the line. Who will be the hero? And here's a long through ball as Albers gives chase for the Highlanders in the attacking third. Albers crosses. Panthers take control. It's Resker. Sends it out towards the sideline. Slow roller. Ready to roll out of bounds.
Good job by clearance from Resker there, but they have to body up. I love the way that Resker cut right into the middle, but she has to body up on Jasper Johnson. She's too dangerous on the outside. Can't let her touch the ball.
Paige Olsen now. Off the throw-in, takes control. Sends it back to Wilson, who dumps it in. Ella Vaughn steps up, and DePerno steps up.
And
DePerno's the one who clears it over to Ruiz.
It looks like they're just having Megan Garmy face guard Paige Olsen. Not even playing a position on defense, just face guarding Paige Olsen.
And that's the player to lock down as of right now. Her and Lily Short offensively have been the threats.
And Vaughn's been on short all game as well.
McKessie now inside her own box, punts it. Little one-hot punt. DeHaven heads it back towards the back line of Radford. Wilson sends that one out at midfield. Garmy now going to take the throw-in.
Almost nails our Big South official scorer down there on the field.
We're still waiting for our ball up here in the booth. Well, technically in the booth. We're on the sideline. We got a little elevation here. Good thing it's warm weather out here for me and Matt, because we're already shivering off the nerves. I think adding some cold weather to it would be even worse. 8:20 to play. in golden goal. 2-2, we still sit. A free kick up and coming for the Panthers after that whistle. DePerno. Gonna be the one to take it. DePerno from way out there. Long cross. Inside the box, it couldn't have been much better. Ball still loose. Garmy flicks it up. Great use of the chest from Gilmore. Gilmore with a big move across the sideline, looking to cross it. Whistle blows. And they're going to call it a corner kick.
That was a phenomenal move from Peyton Gilmore on the sideline there to shake, I believe it was Kayla Edwards. And now a little debate between the Panthers and purple of who's going to take this corner. It looks like it'll be Megan Garmy. You'd rather somebody with a right foot take it, as it'll curve into the net, but Garmy probably the best passer on this High Point roster, so have her take it in this scenario here.
Garmy on the corner kick. 7:14 to play. Garmy crossing. First head touched by Radford. Olsen gives chase. Great fight from Resker to get it back. Garmy now sending it back in. Jumping for the header there was Carlin. Ball still loose as Elevon gets a touch on it. Back out in front. Carlin gives it the head. Johnson bunts it back out. DePerno keeps control for the Panthers. DeHaven back inside the box. It's Gilmore with a big move. Gilmore breaking some space, firing. But Radford steps up and kicks that one out of bounds for another corner kick up and coming for the Panthers.
And High Point has that same intensity that they had in the first half. They have come out with a fire here early. They want to end this game, and they want to end it fast. That Radford opportunity at the beginning of overtime really kind of shook them awake, made them understand what's at stake right now. And here we go, Megan Garmy again on a corner kick on the far side. She's able to use her strong foot now. That left foot curve it in towards the net.
Garmy on the corner kick. 6:10 to play. In overtime, 2-2 we sit. Golden goal here. And a ticket on the line to the finals. Garmy's cross. Touched! The Panthers! They've done it! In overtime! The High Point Panthers are headed to the Big South Finals! Once again, Matt! Are you kidding me?
Megan Garmy with an Olympico to send it to the final. Are you kidding me? Radford is stunned. Oh my goodness.
Nothing like it.
How about it? College sports, man, there's nothing like it. There never has been, there never will be anything like it. What a moment.
We talked about it, Matt. This Big South Conference is a conference that can go any which way. We talked about it all season long. Can the Panthers be the team to do it? Can Radford be the team to do it? Can USC Upstate be the team to do it? Presbyterian. But tonight, it's High Point, the heroes on the field here in Matthews.
And how about
Megan Garmy?
I just verified it because I wanted to be doubly sure. That is the first career collegiate goal for Megan Garmy. Coming in a moment like that, in a scenario like that, in overtime to send your squad to the Big South Championship game. Wow.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal game.
I mean, you should see us right now. We look like idiots. Our jaws are dropped right now.
I don't even know what to say
insane.
at this point.
I guess
we're going to wrap it up here.
I guess we'll see you on Sunday.
We'll see you Sunday here in Matthews, North Carolina, along Jimmy Roselli alongside Matt Santana. I almost said Matt Santana alongside Jimmy Roselli. That's how in shock we are. A gorgeous game and an even more gorgeous outcome. From down one with 40 seconds to play to punching your ticket to the finals. Jimmy Roselli alongside Matt Santana. Thank you for joining us here on High Point Radio. We will see you on Sunday night.